Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am here for a little bit more Oyasumi Punpun. Who's ready to get depressed? I'm ready to get depressed. Everybody ready to get depressed? No, we're gonna have a good time with this. This'll be interesting, I hope. We left off at a fun point, a nice little anime cliffhanger stopping point for sure. I can't choose between them, says Yaguchi. If I can't have both, then I don't want either. If I don't win the tournament next week, I'll forget all about Aiko, and you have to tell her how you feel. But if I win, then Aiko is mine for life. We've got our shonen protagonist boy rival in the form of Yaguchi, and I hate how good a person he is. He seems to be really honestly lovely as a human being, and I despise him for that because he's interested in the girl that Punpun is interested in, and that's hatred. But he sets out this gauntlet throwdown, this little bit of a challenge, and I wonder what's going to happen next. So let's go ahead and read on through Punpun. Thank you for joining me for our experience of Punpun today. Boom. Later, I'm the one who can protect Aiko. No, I am. All right. Poke coffee. Wonk. Pew. Good night, Punpun, part 3. And that's the end of the part, I guess. I should have gone 2 pages further. Oops. No way to know. Another indication of that same shooting star, and a beautiful cityscape that I assume is a photo that's been drawn over based on the way that the trees are lit, and the way that everything looks, and the way that that's what Ousama does. Oh, very cool. Very, very cool frame. All right. And another one, and another one, and another one. Tink, tink, tink. Oh, where are we? I can't read that. That's kanji. Dink, 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 and video hell. 50% off today. Oh, we're in a mall, and that might be a location? I don't know. My girlfriend said her period's late. I mean, yeah, I don't wear a rubber, but she's the one who says she can't come if I wrap it up. And she hasn't even taken the test yet, but she's asking me, what would you do if I had it? So I say, well, this isn't an ideal time if we're being realistic. And then she gets in a super bad mood. Why are women so selfish? Honestly, it's astounding. Do I have to unpack that? I don't want to. So that's the whole So that's the whole fantasy scenario I came up with in bed yesterday. How do I find a girlfriend? You're plenty determined. Oh, okay, that's the uncle. He's working with this guy at Video Hell. Okay. Well, love is like a drug to counteract the terror of solitude. Okay, yeah. But if you don't want to experience the further terror of withdrawal, being alone is definitely not a mistake. Yuichi, how old are you now? 33. Yuichi, do you think being alive is fun? Well, what can I say? It's not about whether or not it's fun anymore. Wow, that's really cool. Then what is it about, Yuichi? Atonement, maybe. Whoa, I'm gonna use that the next time I go on a date. Go for it. When you're young, if you have the time to ponder the meaning of life, you should be out living it instead. As you get older, you'll figure it out anyway. The hell with love. Yugami's still here? What the fuck? Yugami, you're leaving? How about a cup of coffee? Nup, nup. This fucking lawyer. Really? Okay, I'll call you. Cinnamon friend. It's the girl. Okay, while we transition scenes here, hold on. And we're going to talk to this girl about the coffee and stuff. Okay, so the first start of this, I'm glad that that's a joke, so I don't have to even address it. Great. Love is like a drug to counteract the terror of solitude. That seems like a pessimistic outlook. I don't know about that. But if you don't want to experience the further terror of withdrawal, being alone is definitely not a mistake. So being alone is an antidote to the terror of withdrawal. I go over this all the time. I don't think that's true. I think that you have the choice of the suffering of being alone or the choice of suffering being with other people, and you just got to choose. And part of that being with other people suffering is the possibility that your friendship falls apart or that your relationship falls apart or that you end up hating each other or whatever, right? Like that's the gamble that you take. I think you take that gamble every time, right? You should. It's probably worth it. You only have so much time to live. It's the flip side of everything that Yuichi is saying. He's 33. He thinks that you should be out living your life instead of whatever. I agree to some extent. I mean, yeah, you should be out living your life. You should be out doing things and experiencing them. But I don't think being alone is definitely not a mistake. I think it can often be a mistake. Interesting. Yuichi, do you think being alive is fun? What a core, like, central root question. Do you think it's fun being alive? And his answer is, it's not about whether or not it's fun anymore. Which I take as, like, it just is. I just am. It's not about having a good time anymore. It's just about continuing. And he asks what it is about, and Yuichi says atonement. And this guy takes that as like some kind of deep thing or something, like some kind of statement about truly the meaning of life, yada yada. Atonement, maybe? But this seems to be very personal to Yuichi. Has Yuichi done something that he feels like he should atone for? Seems possible. I don't know. Maybe a relationship thing, given the frame of these two people holding hands in the video store? I don't know. As you get older, you'll figure it out anyway. The hell with love. And I think he's obviously heading into a situation where he might end up falling in love, right? Like, this is where we're going with this chick who he thinks is cute, who burned him with tea or coffee or something. All right, let's move on. I also really love the angle on this shot. Just this piece here feels like it's warped, and so it all feels curved and a little bit weird. It's a cool fisheye perspective without having any like noticeably curved lines. It's kind of cool. It's kind of very cool. I like it a lot. Cinnamon French toast and the Kilimanjaro blend. About the other day, I'm really sorry. Oh, don't worry about it. I didn't get burned or anything. My paper bag died though. Ha ha ha. Oh, he's gonna joke about books. He's being all smooth. Nah, not smooth. I'm so sorry. I have accidents like that a lot. Oh, I never thought you'd come back. Well, actually, I was thinking about it afterward, and didn't you used to work in the municipal hospital? It is the same girl! Holy shit. So she probably got fired from her nursing job for some reason, maybe because of clumsiness? Interesting. Okay. My sister was there about 2 years ago. Oh, wait, are you Mr. Punyama? That's right, that little Dracaena you gave us when she was discharged is still in our living room. It's a plant, I think. And well, it's a little complicated, but we go by Onodera now. Wow, what an amazing coincidence. Just amazing. Ha 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 ha. Yes, amazing coincidence. Almost serendipitous. You should fall in love. I'm going to look up that plant. Dracaena. Dracaena. Dracaena? Dracaena? It's one of the ones with like lots of little spiky leaves that go out in different directions. They're fine. I've never liked them much. Wow, what an amazing coincidence. If you call an unexpected miracle a coincidence, I can't forgive myself for considering being content with such a coincidence. It's not pretty. A love where you just lick each other's wounds, we've been there before, is nothing but a shame. Wow. And so that's why we had that guy in frame earlier over... where was the opening shot? Oh, here, up top. I didn't even notice that there was the woman sitting next to him. We keep her kind of out of frame, and we superimpose this girl over her. That's really interesting, Asano. A love where you just lick each other's wounds is nothing but a shame. Here you are. Hey, you really are clumsy. I didn't order an iced coffee. It's on the house. It's the middle of winter. Would you like to go to... Let's go, girl! Oh, yeah. Would you like to go to dinner tomorrow? Did she write that? She must have written that, right? He didn't write that. Yeah, he picked up the iced coffee, and that's on the little coaster paper. Aww. Warp. Booty. Levi's. It's such a fun top frame. That's great. Oh, doot, doot. Okay, so Punpun, Uncle, bam. So this is afterward. Thanks so much for asking me out, but I work tomorrow night. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I could get it off. You idiot! It was just a young woman's whim. What are you doing falling for that at your age? No, I'm not expecting anything. It's just that... It's just what? It's just that you caught a vibe, dude. That's all. I'm home. Honk, shoo. Honk, shoo. Arts. Armpit hair. Die. Come on, if you don't go to bed, you'll catch a cold. Huh? What's up? Why are you being so nice? What are you talking about? I'm always nice. Ha ha ha. You are? Yes. Yeah, you are. Video paradise. Ch. Punpun. I got you some choco pies. I left them in your room. Curses. You have practice again tomorrow morning, right? You should hurry up in there and get a good night's sleep. Ha ha ha. The problem isn't whether it's just a whim or whether she's teasing me. I'm the one who decided to be single. Schlick. Shaved nurses, high school hotties. I'll withhold judgment for the moment. Who am I kidding? I'm just a hypocrite. A guy like me isn't made for falling in love. Okay. Interesting. So, is his guilt and shame solely around his pornography addiction? It seems clear that he has one. Although, honestly, I wouldn't even characterize it as an addiction at this point, but he seems to, based on how he's acting. He seems to feel a lot of guilt and shame around his use of pornographic material, which I think is interesting. I think it's common. I think he's a little old for it. But maybe not. Maybe that's just me projecting my own, like, journey with that. Because I've kind of, like, outgrown that shame. Also, in a lot of ways, outgrown wanting to or using porn. Huh. I'm curious about this. We spend like a number of frames setting it up, right? And there's kind of a lot going on here that I don't know if I'm capable of fully unpacking exactly. So he gets this opportunity to go out with a real woman. She makes a nice gesture of the free iced coffee and, most importantly, the note asking him to dinner tomorrow, which I think is awesome. Women should do this all the time. It's dope. I mean, anybody who's interested in somebody else should make that clear, I think. It's really helpful. Thanks so much for asking me out, but I work tomorrow night. Oh, okay, well, I guess I could get it off. You idiot. It's just, what are you doing falling for that at your age? Oh, no, I'm not expecting anything. It's just what? And then we put this interaction in the middle. And it's like a full frame, right? Of him seeing a woman he's related to. Essentially in her underclothes, right? Falling asleep on the couch, we can assume to some extent. And he's got this, like, disgust response to it, which I think I understand. It's multi-layered as a disgust response. I mean, she's an older woman. He doesn't find her attractive. He also doesn't find his relatives attractive because, generally people don't. I know that's not always true, but generally it is. It's usually, like, kind of turned off in your brain, which is good. He notices that she has armpit hair growing out and goes, die! And in the next moment, just a few moments later, he's jerking off to shaved nurses and high school hotties. I think there's this subtext about what is female, what is feminine, what is sexually attractive, etc., that's clearly a set of expectations that he has gathered from the porn that he likes, right? It's really interesting that we juxtapose that with his seeming disgust response at a woman's body, right? I think that's really interesting. And that he, like, kind of almost fucks up a an opportunity to date a real woman who he obviously finds attractive, who seems interested in him. It's like we're trying to demonstrate or set the stage for his faulty expectations of what relationships are and can be, and his use and frequent use of pornography for ruining his own relationship because he doesn't know what to do in this circumstance and doesn't know how to treat people. And that's really a depressing line for things to go in, but I think that all of the establishing foundation has been laid for that to occur here. Really interesting. And then he's like actively moving everybody out of here. I like that we show him like having the bag, and it's like it's his focus in this moment is that bag. What's up? Why are you being so nice? Well, I'm always nice. But what he's doing is not nice. We show him in this framing in the background. I got you some choco pies. I left them in the room. You should go to bed. He's waiting for everybody to be done with everything so that he doesn't get caught, right? So that he can do this. And I'm the one who decided to be single is an interesting thing to say. Who am I kidding? I'm just a hypocrite. A guy like me isn't made for falling in love. It again makes me feel like he's done something in his past that he's more guilty about. But I don't know. Maybe it's just that his perceptions are warped. Super possible. I think fairly common too. Interesting. Okay, let's move on. Oh, I'm really sorry. I can't believe it. I'm the one who asked you out, and then I'm late. It's a total cliche, but I was worried that I left the gas going on the stove. Oh, this is the girl talking, because she's wonderfully cute, and such a dojiko, falling over herself. But we switched to an electric one last month, so if I just thought about it for 1 second, and my mom is off work today, so she was home. So anyway, I tried to rush back, but the chain fell off my bike. No. Really, don't worry about it. But I got us a reservation at a really nice place for dinner. Your reservation is at 6 tomorrow evening, Miss Okuma. Ah! Oh, that's cute. I'm really sorry. This isn't what I had planned at all. That was quite the chain of events. I'm impressed. I really am very sorry. I don't mind if we just hang out and do karaoke. 2 pints, okra and tofu salad, fried chicken cartilage, and 1 tom yum tofu. Oh wait, that's too much tofu. Let's go with tom yum kun. Yes, kun. Fucking hell. Yes, kuna. Yuichi, no. No. Phew, tonight has been chaotic from the get-go. Oh, before I forget, here, I'm sorry I got it wet. What is that? The abortion? Richard something? What? Oh, I get it. I was wondering why you'd ask an old man out for dinner, but it was to return this. You're very conscientious. No, that isn't why. Well, of course, that's part of it, but thank you for. Oh my god, it's that guy! Uh-oh. Whoa. We're dappling us with karaoke lights. Midori Okuma, 25 years old, a local born and bred. She currently lives with her parents. She worked at the municipal hospital after graduating from nursing school. I remember her well since she was my sister's nurse. She was the one who gave us the tree of she gave it to us, the tree of happiness. She's a little clumsy. She's a lot clumsy. But as I recall, my sister really took to her. She's basically a kind and helpful person. She quit last year because, among other things, the working conditions were rough. Oh, that makes sense. Her high school dream was to own a coffee shop, and so she started working part-time at the cafe. But she's a little worried about her uncertain future. For someone in her 20s, she's sweet. She's a good person. A smile. What are you after? Mistrust. Interesting. I can't get a read on Yuichi yet. Still, that's really weird. That's really interesting, because we've had it like characters that Asano has given us a clear read on within a page, and we've known Yuichi for forever, and he's hidden everything about himself. Right? What is Yuichi like? What does he care about? What does he do outside of work? We didn't even know where he worked until a few pages ago. He hangs out at home. He tries to be supportive to certain directions to Punpun and the family, and he has been. He's been there, which is a lot. This is a level of distrust, though. A smile. What are you after? She seems to be perfectly innocent and perfectly innocently pursuing a guy that she likes. Now, I understand the perspective of being in a situation like this and thinking there's no possible way she could be interested in me. Like, that's just off the table. And I think that's what we've set up with his previous lines during his FAP session and everything before, right? He's just in disbelief that she could possibly be interested in him? Fair enough. Interesting. I'm the only one singing. You don't like karaoke, Yuichi? Oh, sorry about that. You're really sweet, Yuichi. Looking after your sister and nephew like that. Well, after living with them for 2 years, I've grown to love them like family. That's amazing. I need to become a real adult. I'm sure you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll make your dreams come true, too. I love that this wallpaper becomes a big pattern throughout everything. It's really kind of cool. Oh, man. Thank you so much. Ooh. I'm sorry. I need to use the men's room. What? But your song's starting. Please don't go jerk off in the men's room. Please don't go do that, dude. Come on. Don't look at me like that. Whoa. Even if she hadn't looked at me with those clear eyes, I fully understand how filthy I am. I need to go. I'm sickened by my own puerility. Puerile being young, or acting like a youth. Comes from the Latin puer, which means boy. What's the meaning of superficial kindness? Don't forget that anguish. What? Pop. What? What is this? Okay. So some of it is confirmation, right? I fully understand how filthy I am, even if she hadn't looked at me with those clear eyes. I'm sickened by my own puerility. What's the meaning of superficial kindness? Don't forget that anguish. What? I'm going to go look at the other version. I need more background. I need a different translation. I need to understand. I have no idea which volume I'm actually on because I'm using the omnibus now. I'm going to check volume 4. This is not where I am. I'm going to check volume 3. This is probably where I am. I gotta skip way ahead though to find it. Oh, you can't see it because I have to close the other window. Fuck. All right. Thank God Honeyview grabs the right page though. Honeyview's wonderful, honestly. Okay. She's a little bit clumsy, but I'm just going to read silently. Hold on. Unless it's something. Very mid-20s like, and a very honest and kind girl. Her smiling face. What's your objective? You're very nice. Your hopes will come true. Thank you so much. Sorry I have to go to the washroom, but your song's about to start. Don't look at me with those eyes. Even if you don't look at me with such pure lovely eyes, I realize how disgusting I am very well. Let's go home. I feel disgusted at myself. What meaning do you think your facade of kindness will have? Don't forget about your regret from that time. He's talking to himself. Okay, that clarifies. His facade of kindness. So he views himself as having a shell of kindness, right? And being disgusting underneath. Oh, if only you knew who I really was, you'd understand that I'm a vile monster. So far, the only vile, monstrous thing that we've seen him do is check out a couple people's butts and jerk off to porn. As long as we don't reveal that he's committed an assault, or like engaged in other illegal and illicit behaviors, I don't see the huge level of an issue here. He does, and that's his guilt and shame, and that's his prerogative. But I don't see it, and so I think it's unreasonable guilt that he's tying himself down, which I think is interesting over the course of the story. Because so far, most of the destruction in this story, has been self-inflicted in various ways. Oh, who this caller is. They keep fucking calling me. I'm going to have to block them. Mr. Onodera, please, wait a minute. Why are you returning home so suddenly? Did I say something rude? I have diarrhea, so I'm going home. Huh? What's that supposed to mean? Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong volume now. I have to go to the other thing. Yuichi, hey Yuichi, wait up. Why are you leaving so suddenly? Did I say something to offend you? Jolt. The poop! It won't stop, so I'm going home. What? What are you talking about? Anyway, maybe it's not because I'm not used to this, but I'm exhausted, so I'm going home now. Oh, I understand. Please come to the cafe again. Thank you for the book. I'll be waiting! Aww. Now the weekend forecast for the Kanto region. An extreme cold front is coming in from the Sea of Japan, and snow is predicted in the inland areas. I need to learn how to do whatever that Midwestern, accent is. I forget what it's called. It's the classic radio voice accent. No, that comes up with, networking with English. It's the Mid-Atlantic accent that I'm thinking of, but now it's a different thing. It's not that anymore. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Curse, 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 fuck. Have a great weekend, everyone. Hey, Yuichi. It looks like it's going to snow tomorrow. Will you go do the shopping? Oh, he's making a mech. So I basically haven't been able to do anything the last couple of days. Snow. If it's going to snow, it might as well go all out and smother everything in white. Oh, he's depressed because he's a fucking idiot. Foolproof guide to opening your stylish cafe. Interesting. Oh, Yugami, what a coincidence. How about it? Do you have time for a cup of coffee? Nope, nope. Okay. Again, you're a strange one. It's not good for you to work too hard. Voomp. Sorry, we're closed. Oh, Yuichi. Oh, sorry about that. I'll come back another time. Oh, not at all. It's totally fine. Please make yourself at home. My manager had an emergency and had to leave, so I'm closing up. Ah, I didn't hesitate to sit down. I just meant to apologize for the other day and leave right away. But before I realized it, dusk had fallen. How long has it been since I've spent such peaceful time with a woman? I want to open a cozy little cafe, listening to her talk passionately about her dreams. I can't deny that I have feelings for this girl! Anyway, I can't keep holding on to a pipe dream. Huh? Well, yeah, there's no denying it'll be hard to save up enough money to open a cafe with just a part-time job, but I think it's important to have a specific vision. My parents have started treating me a little coldly lately. I don't have a steady job, no boyfriend. I know I need to get out of this situation as soon as I can. And actually, I'm not sure how to say this, but Yugami has been hitting on me, and I don't know what to do. Ah, the lawyer? Really? Mr. Nup Nup? Okay. Whoa! Yeah, I feel that. Oh, I didn't know. That's wonderful. He went to a good university, and I think he makes good money. More importantly, he's very serious and sincere. A good job and a steady personality. Of course, those are important. But I have a feeling that the one is out there somewhere, and my certainty is based on gut feeling, not logic. Actually, I'm very shy, especially around men. That was the first time I've ever asked someone I barely know to dinner. Wait, just a minute. I need to pee. God damn it. He's like Punpun, you fucking idiot. Always peeing at the worst times. Oh, and he knocks over the bag. Foolproof guide to opening your stylish cafe, and she sees it. I know what happens after this. These feelings of ambivalence. Who is this repulsive creature? Well, you know. I'm utterly despicable. You can't even imagine. What? What do you mean? That's so random. You look after your sister. I think you're a good person, Yuichi. Actually, I don't feel any emotional bond to my sister's family. As someone who fell through society's cracks and was living like garbage, that house was just a convenient box for me to stay in. All I wanted was to exist without having anything to do with anyone else. Can you call someone who's that selfish a good person? But you bought this book for me, right? The night before I went to karaoke with you, I masturbated for the first time in 5 years? Why would you tell me that? Are you trying to make me hate you, Yuichi? Yes. He's trying to push you away so that he doesn't hurt you. He's hedgehogging, right? You know, Yuichi, whenever I try to get closer to you, you move further away. Isn't that sneaky? You're a sneaky person, Yuichi. You're a lot younger than I am. I don't want to hurt your future. I'm already hurt right now. Yuichi, what is it? Did something happen to you? Sorry, how much is the coffee? I should be going. $1,000. If you don't tell me what happened to you, I'll charge the full price. No discount, not even a cent. Woof. This got so dope. I know what happens after this, these feelings of ambivalence. Interesting. He's given like 5 different justifications, right? If you don't tell me what happened to you, I'll charge the full price, no discount, not even a cent. Poof, 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 close. Oh, he sees a different girl. That's a flashback. A cute, innocent girl. Somebody he hurt, I think. Or somebody he failed? I don't know. What? It's nothing. There's no hurry. Just take your time. You're the first person I've ever told this to. Oh my God. It was 5 years ago. Oh man, it's been 5 years already. I was living on my own in an apartment not far from my parents. I had a master's degree in art, but I still couldn't figure out my place in life, and I was feeling pretty isolated. So one of my professors found me a job. It was at a pottery school just a few minutes from the train station. Dun dun. 5 years ago, I was 28 years old and I was teaching pottery. Well, I was teaching a community class aimed at the local housewives. Mr. Onodera, thank you for today. I'll see you next week. Okay, bunch of ugly old ladies. We understand that they're meant to be uglier than they are. Good job, ladies. I'll see you next week. I was very popular back then. Mr. Onodera, would you like some cream puffs? I waited in line forever to get them. Oh, thank you, but no, we're not allowed to accept gifts from students, especially with Mrs. Yagi, whose interest in me was strangely intense. I don't think it's that strange. She's a middle-aged housewife. It happens. Who does he think he is? Mr. Onodera is so rude. He's so nice to Mrs. Kojima, Mrs. Oike, and Mrs. Sugawara, but he's so cold to me. I pay tuition just like everyone else. Don't you think it's unfair? He's trying to distance himself from you because you keep hitting on him. A school that runs on city funds like yours, one little complaint to City Hall and I could get you closed down. Mrs. Yagi, I am so sorry. Yes, I'll have a talk with him. Yes, haha. Yes, thank you. Yes, we'll see you next week. I'm sorry. Nah, we get people like this every once in a while. Yuichi, I know you're very conscientious, but you need to take this seriously. She might be a student, but she's also only a customer, so just play along. Oh, jeez. Oh, nice. You're so popular. Hey, stop that, Washio. I'm 10 times more envious of you. Yeah, your piece, that Celadon pot. I heard it. Here it's going to be in a magazine. Oh, okay, so he's a better potter. A young talent like you, it's a shame you're in a school like this. I'm sure in time your piece will get the recognition it deserves. That thing. That's just a thing. Besides, man decides the criteria for beauty after the fact. So I think eternal beauty lies in something ever-changing. Like, for instance, don't you think that pot was at its most beautiful when it was firing in the kiln? I think it's plenty impressive. The full, abundant shape, the delicate curves. Sexualizing it? Something like that, maybe. Nope, I guess not. Seemed like it was, but I don't know. I wanted to create something like that someday, too. Yui, are you in there? Oh, you're home. You could have unlocked the door for me. You're working on another model? I'm missing a piece. So he's doing models instead of the pottery. I was dating a woman I knew from university. She lived with her parents and worked in an office. She loved to drink and insult people. Nice. That said, she was for the most part a gentle, kind woman. I'm going now. Will you keep Saturday night free? I made plans. Oh, you forgot this. Good night. How to find the right venue for your wedding. Newlyweds. That was my life back then. Usual days passing in the usual way, inevitably leading to the usual future. Feeling like a jigsaw puzzle with a piece missing. But still buying into the conceit that being human meant becoming an adult. People surrounded by all kinds of other people. But I'd keep my cool composure, or so I thought. Dreams for sale cheap. But what if, in this abnormal daily life, what if I'm already broken? No, I am me. Dreams for sale cheap. I am me. And there she is. Oh, Mr. Onodera, this is my daughter. If it's okay, I was hoping you could teach her too. Mrs. Yagi, Mrs. Oike brought some cake. Would you like some? Hee hee, Mr. Onodera, please excuse me. I'm really sorry about my mom. She dragged me here. She'll use whatever excuse she can find to get closer to you, Mr. Onodera. Oh, I see. Ha 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 ha. Please don't worry about it. I'll leave as soon as she's satisfied. Oh, no, don't do that. Where are my manners? I'll get you some tea. Just relax. Yeah, she's cute. Oh, I'm reading that book too. Oh, wow, what a coincidence. This is pretty mature. How old are you? I'm 16. We seem to have similar tastes. And she's, I don't know how to say this without seeming weird, but she's rather relatively well developed. There it is. And there's the line that I was expecting where we associate her with the pottery. That full, abundant shape, those delicate curves, and the light shining in. Thinking back, that girl was the extraordinary that suddenly appeared in my ordinary life. Ha 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 ha. Or maybe I was projecting the ineffable something I'd been looking for onto this girl who was more than 10 years younger than me, quite possibly. Ding. Oh, but today's a school day. Is it a holiday? I easily imagined the words bullying and ostracism welling in her downcast eyes. I mean, wow, 16, that's young. What do kids do for fun these days? Rip. I'm usually tied up by my mom under house arrest. Ha ha ha, what a way with words. Ha ha, sorry. Yeah, they're both so awkward. If she can make jokes about it, then it's probably not so bad. That's what I thought. Oh, do you want to try the pottery wheel? Are we gonna go ghost with this? Is he gonna pottery with her hands? This is fun. Above all, carried on that moist June air, her scent, her warmth. That's right, slowly. Don't rush. Don't rush. That pale skin looked like it would crumble at a touch, and produced in me a chemical reaction as he's looking down her shirt. And he is absolutely ghosting her, and he's got his hands around hers. Yeah, that's some spicy stuff. That's pretty close proximity. This is why if you're ever like a camp counselor or anything, you're trained pretty hard to avoid close physical contact. It literally does cause a chemical reaction within you. That doesn't justify any behavior you do in the meantime. But being that close to somebody can cause that kind of a reaction. God, man. Fucking hell. And stroke, stroke, stroke. I confess, I was violently erect sitting behind her. Yep. Whoomp, whoomp, whoomp. Oh, it flew off. Yuichi, telephone. Oh, it's you, sis. Huh? Punpun didn't come home from school. Okay, I'll head over right now. Well, I'm really sorry. Something's come up. But I wanted to show you how to apply glaze. And some other stuff. Yeah, of course you did. God damn it. You don't need to wait till your mom comes again. Just come by whenever you want. Oh, only if you want. Mr. Onodera, do you believe in God? Huh? God? Not really. I've never really thought about it. You mean like Jesus or Buddha? Or do you mean something more figurative like money or freedom? I don't know about complicated things like that. He learned it from her. Dear God. Oh my God. So when Punpun brought it up to him and he was like, I don't believe in God. It brought this up too again. Wow. Okay. Dear God, tinkle, tinkle, hoy. Tinkle? Huh? What? What was that? It's a spell I've used ever since I was little. It's for when I'm lonely or in pain. But I've never seen God. No matter how hard I pray, nothing good ever happens. I'm disgusted that I've relied on a God that isn't even real. But now I think, for the first time, maybe he really does exist. Oh, buddy. Well, just come back. Oh, and go to school too. If I go to school, will you go on a date with me? Whoo. Who is this guy? This is the guy from outside, right? Yeah, I promise. That's when I thought, if there is a God, why on earth did he send this girl into my ordinary existence? Oh, thank God, I looked everywhere. You know you shouldn't come this far by yourself. Your mom and dad are desperately looking for you right now. I didn't get it. No, I was just pretending not to understand. Hey, Yuichi, I'm so sorry to trouble you, but you really helped us out today. Don't hold up, hold back, just keep drinking. Fill her up, way up. By the way, Yuichi, how are things with that, charming girlfriend of yours? Isn't it time you thought about marriage? I'm not sure. No. By then, it might have all been decided already. Yep, 100%. In his mind, she's gone. He's here for the 16-year-old. I assume that age of consent in Japan is 18, but I don't know for sure. I think so, though. So it's actually really different. It's tough to say. So first off, there's no Romeo and Juliet law, and it wouldn't apply in this circumstance because they're not close to the same age, right? But the true baseline bottom line age of consent in Japan is 13 years old. It's really low. However, and that's for any sexual activity. Anybody under 12, immediately it's prosecution for statutory rape. However, that's the base consent law. Many prefectures also have local corruption of minors or obscenity statutes, which raise the de facto age of consent to 16 through 18, unless they are in a, quote, sincere romantic relationship, unquote, which is usually determined by parental consent. For example, the effective age of consent in Tokyo by local statute is 18. The age of marriage is 16 for girls and 18 for boys with parental permission, and 20 otherwise. So the 13 really only applies in most prefectures when it's like an arranged marriage or something like that, and that's fucked up on its own. But even then, mostly it's the consent is like 16 to 18, including parental permission. So that's interesting. It's more confusing, but it's very low. So that's interesting for sure. I think Yuichi's still in the legal red, like here for sure, right? Like this is not a good place to be in. Falling for a girl under the age of majority. We'll have to see how he acts in the circumstance. It's not a good idea no matter what. It's not something that I can justify no matter what. I don't think it is. I do think it's clear that she's pursuing him, and I think it's an adult's responsibility to try to deflect that in a circumstance like this. This is a really tough situation because to do so would be fighting his entire body's urge, right? His entire reptile brain. And like I'm trying to tread the line where I'm attempting to indicate that that is not okay, and yet it is not okay. Clear? Clear. It is also understandable. Clear? Clear. I hope that's crystal clear. I'm not condoning the behavior, but I can understand why he might act in this way. Especially given what we've seen of this girl having, like, indicating abuse either in her household, being held back, and bullying and chastisement and harassment at school, both. It seems like she's trying to make a friend for the first time. Like, how do you turn down somebody who literally says that they think they believe in God because they've met you? How do you turn down at least being friends with that person? The problem is he's not going to be capable of being just friends with this person. And he should know that from this point, right? And that's why the lines of being like, no, I was pretending not to understand. And then the other thing where he's saying, I forget where it is. Fucking hell. No, about the ugly girlfriend, right? I think I've already decided. No, by then it might have already all been decided already. He knows where this path he's going on will lead, and he's still choosing to go on it. He's walking straight to hell. And I don't mean that in necessarily a religious sense, but thematically, he knows that this is torment at the end of this, that this is a bad place to go, and he's choosing to go down it anyway. All right, let's continue. Hello, do you remember your promise? And out on a date we go. Sigh, this takes me back to my student days. Oh yes, going to a little shrine. What kind of student were you, Mr. Onodera? Me? I was completely average, but I was convinced that I was special, and I was searching for the thing that set me apart from everyone else. When I look back on it now, I tell myself I was so young back then, but that's just a justification. So now I spend my days living in fear of something spilling out of my heart, like water from a bowl escaping the limits of surface tension. So now I spend my days living in fear of something spilling out of my heart. I have put up walls. Interesting. And he believes firmly in his own averageness, and that all previous times when he might have thought of himself as special, he was not special. Interesting. Mr. Onodera, are you happy now? I have acceptance, but not satisfaction. Really, I just want to be able to focus on my pottery, that's all. But as you get older, you become afraid of losing things even if they're worthless. Sorry, I'm just babbling. Maybe it's time to go home. Yeah, as you get older, you become afraid of losing things. You become entrenched. You become calcified. You become stuck. For sure. Sorry, I'm just babbling. Maybe it's time to go home. What about you? What do you think happiness is? All I want is to be with the person I treasure. Ah, you'll be fine. I'm sure you'll find happiness one day. Let's both focus on our goals starting tomorrow. Don't let the bullying get you down. I'm not being bullied. A boy in my class got me pregnant, and I had an abortion 6 months ago. Ho! Okay. I don't care that my friends turned their backs on me and all my classmates talk about me behind my back. School only lasts 3 years. But my mom, she cries. The wind blows her hair out of the way and she begins to cry. There's something wrong with her. She says it's to prevent it from happening again. But when I'm at home, I really am tied to a post. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life alone. My life, growing old, stuck alone in a small room. Oh, and we see the rope burns. I pushed my mom and practically ran away to get here today. I don't know what she'll do to me when I get home. I might end up dead. Help me. Fuck you. I don't want to do that. Little scribbles in the background. Part 4. Well, I changed my mind from potential abuse at home. She did specifically use the wording before. This is way before. She did specifically use the wording tied up, right? She dragged me here. She'll use whatever excuse she can find. I'll leave as soon as she's satisfied. I am easily imagine the words bullying and ostracism because she's not in school, but that's because of the abortion that she's had. 16. I'm usually tied up by my mom under house arrest, and we don't see them. She's got the long sleeves. What a way with words. What a way to phrase that. I wonder what that is in the other copy. Hold on, I'm gonna check. There's so much here. Holy shit, what a reveal. Asano, come on, man. Come on, man. What the fuck, man? I was forcibly dragged out here. Once my mother calms down, we'll return home. Minimizing it. Voluptuous shape, fine delicate curves. We're kind of girl that was... Yeah, honestly, I'm glad that we switched translations. This one's way more muddled as we get chapters in. I'm usually tied down with a rope in my house by my mother. I wonder if she uses... I wonder what language she uses in the Japanese. Haha, oh you? Yeah, so he dismisses it again. Her scent, her warmth. I had an erection. That is one good thing about this translation. Is like the way that it's just so straightforward and clinical with some of those things makes it even funnier. Holy shit, man. That is brutal. This puts Yuichi in a really, really weird circumstance, doesn't it? Oh man, he's gonna get... here's the thing. We come into this backstory, into this flashback that he tells us, knowing that he is deeply emotionally scarred 5 years later from it, from whatever happened. Might be his own actions. Plenty of people have post-traumatic stress disorder from their own murders, right? Like, from their own insane things that they've done. It's reasonable that like, you might make decisions that will cause events that will destroy you, that will traumatize you, and they might be your fault, right? it doesn't mean that he's not traumatized. Clearly, Yuichi is traumatized. He is deeply guilty. He cannot hold a relationship. He hasn't masturbated in 5 years, and as far as I can tell, hasn't dated in those 5 years either, right? He's been alone, and he's got all these justifications of building his life out to be as alone as possible. He thinks he's dead inside. He views himself as having no empathy toward other people, right? He views himself as a monster, as ugly, as disgusting. And these things do not seem true to us because we see what he calls his facade of kindness. I judge people by their actions rather than necessarily their intent, right? I think that the act of picking up simply the fact that he saw that book about opening a cafe and purchased it and thought of her when he did so is an act of inherent empathy and kindness, right? He puts himself into the mind of another, understands that she might benefit from this, and does it for her. He comes up with this justification for himself, which I think is partially true. That he only chose to live with the Punpuns, the Punyamas, because he had no other place to go and it was convenient for him. I think that's true. We even established that earlier on, and he said it like kind of half jokingly when he came into the house at the first point, right? It was like, haha, no, it's just convenient for me, don't worry about it, in a very Japanese way of sort of dismissing somebody's thanks, right? I'm so grateful to you for doing this thing that's taking so much time and so much effort out of your day. And he's going, no, it's more convenient for me anyway. That's how I saw it. But really, it was his belief. He really, truly believes that. He believes that he is serving himself by doing this, or serving himself by, in the middle of this is the 5 years ago still, but try to put yourself into his frame of mind, right? This is a man with a girl who, regardless of her age, he is highly attracted to, right? Highly attracted to. He is sitting right behind her with his arms wrapped around her. He is full of the scent of her. He is erect behind her. He wants this moment to last forever, right? He wants to be in this moment forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. He never wants to leave this moment. I think that's a fair statement about his mental state at the moment. He gets a call from his family that Punpun is out. He leaves immediately and goes and searches on his bike around all over the place for Punpun. Is that the action of a monster? Is he doing that for his own self-interest? Is he doing that to look good in front of somebody, or to be able to brag that he was helping out? Is there some ulterior motive there? I don't think so. So I think it's clear that Yuichi's judgment at this point of himself is deeply flawed. The question is, where does this road actually lead? What actually happens between him and this girl? And in the process, does he commit a fucking crime? And what's the nature of that crime? If so. Because I think, regardless of what happens, he's going to end up committing a crime during this process. I think if he performs any sexual activity with this girl, he was inches away a moment ago. If he performs any sexual or lascivious activity with this girl, he's probably in violation of the law and of a moral code that I would stand for, right? But that's a different story, especially if there's consent involved. That's a different story than if this goes wrong and her mom kills her and he feels guilty for that, right? Because that seems like a possibility here. Or if he loses control and physically or sexually assaults her, right? And there's no consent, or it's a different situation. That's a different story completely, right? And so we're at this point where Asano has done this immaculate job of painting this picture from Yuichi's perspective of what is going to be a horrible and traumatizing event for which we should view him as a horrible, disgusting monster if we believe him. And now we're watching it play out, and it's for us to judge. Like a jury watching the events play out in real time. It's for us to judge as we witness the real scenes, the real things that occurred, not his explanations of them. The actual videotape, essentially, is what Asano is going to draw for us. We're going to witness that, and we're going to be able to judge this character for ourselves. And our judgment might be very different from his. And I think that is the most fascinating thing that we've had in this chapter so far. Now, the story that we've gotten about this girl, the fact that he's now telling it to the girl at the cafe, these things are fascinating. The framing device is awesome. And the story that we're telling is really amazing because it's the kind of story. It's like we just got to a complicated relationship moment for Punpun, and now we're jumping into Uncle Yuichi's complicated relationship point, right? In his own earlier life, not as a high schooler, but in his own earlier life, dealing with some sort of similar feelings. And somehow there's going to be some relevance here, I think. I think these are going to reflect on each other, or at the very least, reflect on Yuichi's perspective on whatever Punpun ends up dealing with. Because Punpun the last few days has just been going curses, 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 because he's freaking out about Yagachi, right? Like, of course. This is fascinating. Asano is doing an amazing job of setting up Yuichi's perspective on himself and showing us the events and letting us determine what actually occurred. And the story that he's spinning here of this girl rushing out of her house, running away from captivity, this beautiful young girl, which explains to us precisely why her mom is keeping her chained down, right? Her mom's got an obviously insane perspective and is deeply abusive in this moment. And that's going to echo to Aiko because she's living in this cult that I think is abusive too. We've seen bruises on her back. We know this is going to echo, right? And it probably will play into the way that Yuichi maybe finds out about that cult since he's seen Aiko with that woman, right? We had that whole interaction there. How he finds out about that cult and how he thinks about her being, how he thinks about her being a part of it, and everything. It's all relevant to this. He's telling two stories now. Amazing. Don't let the bullying get you down. What an assumption. This sequence is baller from Asano. Boof, boof. Just the framing. I'm not being bullied. A boy in my class got me pregnant and I had an abortion 6 months ago. I don't care that my friends turn their backs on me and that all my classmates talk about me behind my back. That's some strength. School only lasts 3 years. That's a perspective. But my mom, there's something wrong with her. This is an absolutely genuine cry for help. It's not my mom is a monster. It's there's something wrong with her. It's not her. Something has infected her. This doesn't make sense to me. She's acting crazy. She says it's to prevent it from happening again. But when I'm at home, I really am tied to a post. And it is. That is her mom's justification and her mom's reasoning, probably. Her daughter is too beautiful. A boy will fuck her and knock her up. And it will become a travesty. Her mom has gone crazy. I'm probably going to spend the rest of my life growing old stuck alone in a small room. I wonder if it was a boy that, I'll phrase it this way. I wonder if it was consensual in the first place. I don't want to assume in the way that Yuichi has. We've already talked about how his assumptions are stupid. What if it's not? Not going to assume. Hypothetically, what if it's not? Well, then what we've got is a situation where beautiful girl is assaulted and made pregnant, and her mother is essentially blaming her attractiveness for it and tying her up, punishing her for being a victim. Horrifying. 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 I wonder if her mom forced the abortion. I wonder if she asked for the abortion. I don't know. There's so many variables to this, and I don't think any of them change the calculus. What's going on right now is absurd, is insane, is abuse, strongly and undeservedly, impossibly. She minimizes the friends turning their backs. That's all expected, to some extent. That's gonna happen. They're allowed to do that to some extent. Bullying's not okay, but it's gonna happen. Turning away from someone who gets pregnant and has an abortion in high school, that's gonna happen. Happens every day. Young girls get pregnant every fucking day in this country and in countries all around the world, legally and illegally. It's not okay. But when it happens in school, it pushes people away from them. Absolutely. And that's not acceptable, but it is kind of expected. A mother tying her daughter to a post with those marks and she expresses a legitimate fear for her own life. Help me. I don't know what you do with that, man. This is crazy. Asano's just going off. I'm scared. I'm scared for this girl's well-being. And I really am wondering if Yuichi blames himself because for some reason she gets dead. Like, this mother who seems obsessed with him and hateful toward her daughter, you sprinkle a little jealousy in that mix when her beautiful younger daughter is getting close with the man that she's obsessed with. That seems like a recipe for motive to me. And the woman already has means and opportunity. She's in complete control of her daughter. Sprinkle in a little motive and we got a murder on our hands. Totally possible. Totally possible. It doesn't even have to be firsthand. She just needs to tie her in the basement and leave her for a few days without water. This is very scary. And I'm really excited to find out what actually happens and stop speculating. But I think that's the time to leave off. We're about an hour in. We end a volume. Boom. Or a part, I guess. Yes, we end a part. And that's going to be where we're stopping for the day. Thank you so much for reading along with me. This is some crazy shit. I hope you enjoyed. If you'd like next week's, it'll be on the Patreon sometime today. Thanks. See ya next week for more. Peace.